Hare Krishna all.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata Ji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. We will start with the short kirtan. Okay. Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna, I welcome you all for today's session. I think it's 8:10. We will start. Let us start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavauscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam tam sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nithinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So I seek blessings from all of you so that I can speak in the parampara and for the pleasure of the Lord. So let us start with today's session. If it is possible, can you switch on your cameras so that I can see you? Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So anybody would like to give 1 or 2 points from last class? This is actually a story, isn't it?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Mataji, in yesterday's class, Maharaja Parikshit was asking Shukadev Goswami that even after killing Vritrasura, why is Indra so unhappy? What happened? So then the explanation began that Indra was fearing that he has killed a Brahmana. Last time he killed some Brahmana, there were people who took his sinful reaction. And now he's fearing it. So then how the demigods tell him, the importance that he's protected by Narayana Kavacha and Ashwamedha Yajna can be performed. So we read that, and we also read the importance of, there was one paragraph where they said, I forgot what it was, like, birth, people who take birth, and there were different names given in that. And it was said, how the Ashwamedha Yajna purifies all of them. So this is what I remember, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. Yes. So Mataji very nicely said what all things where we are exactly. So this section of Srimad Bhagavatam is very dramatic, right? Although Vritrasura is a great devotee of the Lord, he is presenting himself as a great demon, and he is fighting with the demigods, and ultimately Indra has to kill him. And that is also in a dramatic way, isn't it? In last chapter, we have seen that Vritrasura actually he swallows Indra, but because of that protection of Narayan, Narayan Kavach, Narayan Shield, he did not die in the belly of Vritrasura, and then he pierced his abdomen through by his thunderbolt, and he came out, and then finally Indra killed Vritrasura. And that also, it took almost 1 year, 365 days to kill the to cut the neck of Vritrasura, right? So all these details we have seen. So such a dramatic section this is. And today's as Mataji said, ki finally Vritrasura is killed, and now everybody is happy. All the other demigods, all the sages, rishis, they are very happy because such a powerful demon was killed. But still Indra is not happy. Only Indra, except Indra, we have seen in last 10 verses, 9 verses, that except Indra, everybody is happy. So why Indra is not happy? So as we said, because he is fearful, because he has committed a sinful act of killing a Brahmana, right? And that's why Indra is in now trouble, right? And previously also he had killed a Brahmana, Vishwarup. We all know that. And at that time, now it will come in today's purport. So we will have some elaboration on that. So let us start with today's verse, that Indra is fearful. And I'll just share the screen. Yes. Who wants to recite the verse?
Hare
Shall I,
Krishna Mataji,
Mataji?
after you. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, okay. You can go carry on, Mataji.
Okay.
Mataji, after you.
Okay, Rohini Mataji. Shri Shuka Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Evam Sanchodito Viprair
Evam Sanchodito Viprair
Marutvanahana Tripum
Marutvan Ahanadripum
Brahmahatyahate Tasmin
Brahmahatyahate Tasmin
Asasada Vrushakapim.
Asasada Vrishakapim.
Yes. Read the translation and purport also.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, encouraged by the words of the sages, Indra killed Vritrasur, and when he was killed, the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana, Brahmahatya, certainly took shelter of Indra. Purport: after killing Vritrasur, Indra could not surpass the Brahmahatya, the sinful reactions for killing a Brahmana. Formerly, he had killed one Brahman, Vishwarupa, out of circumstantial anger. But this time, following the advice of the sages, he killed another Brahman purposely. Therefore, the sinful reaction was greater than before. Indra could not be relieved from the reaction simply by performing sacrifices for atonement. He had to undergo a severe series of sinful reactions, and when he was freed by such suffering, the Brahmanas allowed him to perform the horse sacrifice. The planned execution of sinful deeds on the strength of chanting the holy name of the Lord or undergoing prayashchitta, atonement, cannot give relief to anyone, even to Indra or Nahush. Nahush was officiating for Indra, while Indra, absent from heaven, was going here and there to gain release from his sinful reaction. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So Indra, he knew that if we perform adharma or anything against dharma, we become fear-stricken and we lose potency. Correct? So Indra very clearly knew these things, and that's why he is fearful. And here in the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning two important things. We will have little elaboration on that. That First, he had killed Brahmana, that is Vishwarupa, out of circumstantial anger. Okay, and this time he killed another Brahmana purposely. Okay, so let us have some elaboration. What is this circumstantial and what is this purposely? Correct? In the first case, we can understand that Vishwarupa, he was performing fire sacrifice for demigods, and secretly he was giving oblations to demons also. And when Indra came to know that, he became angry, and in that anger, he killed Vishwarupa. Okay, so it was because of that circumstance he killed. But here, in this case, he knew that Vritrasura is a devotee of the Lord. He is a Brahmana, and still he killed Vritrasura, and that's why here it is called as purposely. So at that time, he could distribute his sinful reactions, okay, amongst other entities. But here he had to suffer the sinful reactions on his by himself only, right? And it is mentioned he had to undergo severe austerities, series of austerities. So I will just explain little bit about this circumstantial and this purposeful. So sometimes I will give you some situations. You can tell me whether that is circumstantial or it is purposeful. Okay. So sometimes we are in the train and the whole day, it is busy, and if we are traveling somewhere, it is difficult to do chanting very attentively, isn't it? So is it circumstantial or it is purposeful?
Circumstantial.
It is circumstantial, correct? Because we are not able to do because of the circumstances. But sometimes we are lazy, okay, and we just want to, because now we have decided that we will chant certain number of rounds, but because we are feeling lazy, we just want to complete ek bar khatam kar deti hu. I will just finish the chanting. Aisa karke, if we are doing the chanting, is it circumstantial or purposeful?
Purposely.
It is purposely, right? Correct. So one more example I will give. Prasadam. Devotees distribute prasadam in the temple, and sometimes people ask for some items. People come and ask, they want more serving of that item. But temple authorities have instructed the serving devotees that how much they have to serve that item, isn't it? They have some rules and regulations. So they say that this cannot be served, right? So this is circumstantial or this is purposeful?
Circumstantial.
Just deny. They cannot do anything about it. But sometimes what happens is, sometimes just to humiliate humiliate some person. So if somebody says that, "Are you have already eaten once and you are coming again and again for taking plate in front of all other people." If somebody is humiliating other person like this, then this is circumstantial or purposely?
Purposely, Mataji.
Correct. So you are understanding the circumstantial and purposely things. Okay, one or two incidents I will tell more in one in temple. One Mataji was doing DT backup seva, and suddenly they came to know that one Maharaj is coming for DT dressing. So everybody was in panic, because every day ka routine we know that the brahmacharis do, and what all backup is required, what all things need to be arranged, they all know. But suddenly Maharaj is coming, so everybody was alert and in kind of panic. So so this Mataji also, she was doing the things, and in that altar there were so many animals. like monkeys and deers and swans and all. So she picked up the swan holding its snake. Okay. So Maharaj came, and when Maharaj saw that, he said that if Krishna picks you up like this, okay, how would you feel? Okay, so that is Krishna's swan. So you have to you have to be careful. So this is circumstantial or purposely.
Circumstantial,
This is
Mataji.
again circumstantial, because in that hurry, because of that, kind of little when we are around any sannyasi, any Maharaj, we are little, under pressure, right? And in that it happened. So this is a lesson that the Guru corrected. That is very nice, and we take a lesson that we should be more careful while doing the things related to deities. Okay, one more thing is one devotee, sincere devotee, he was dressing Radharani. Okay, and we know that till after Mangalarti is over, till Shringar Darshan, they get time to dress up the deities, and they have to get the deities ready for Shringar Darshan. So that time is limited, and they have to complete everything in that time period only. So this Prabhuji also, he was dressing up Radharani, and it is, it is little people are in anxiety because they have to complete everything in that time period only. At home, we can take as much time we want for doing Shringar of our deities. The temple, the standard is there, and they have to follow that. So he was little in hurry. He was Radharani's. I don't know what you call. We call it as challa. Vest pe lagate hai. I don't know what is English word for that. So this Prabhuji, he was not. I mean, he was not getting place to keep that challa. So what did he do? He put it on his vest. I mean, he hooked it there, and he did everything, and then dressing was done, and he just came out like that. And then suddenly he realized that the challa is with me only. I came out like that only. And he was which mistake? This was which mistake you can say?
Circumstantial,
Again,
Mataji.
this is circumstantial, right? So he came out and he realized that I made a mistake. I took something away from Radharani. Correct? So this sincere devotee, he immediately, he said that now I will not do this worship seva, but I will do backup seva for minimum 6 weeks. Okay, so this is his atonement. I mean, realizing that we have made a mistake and taking action on that is also important. Sometimes people, they don't agree only that they are committing mistakes. Correct? They are not ready to accept that they are making mistakes. What to think of atonement for that, isn't it? But a sincere devotee always, he understands and he takes action on that. So this is also circumstantial, but he took the responsibility. He took it upon himself, and he made atonement for that also. And one more example I will give. In one temple, a devotee was caught. He was taking a rice bag from the deity kitchen. So the authorities asked him, "Why are you? No, this is deity ka. This is deity kitchen, and everything belongs to the deities. So why you are taking this rice packet?" So he said, "Arey, temple president also uses the car. So I take a little rice. What is the problem?" So what is this? I mean, which kind of mistake is this?
Purposely.
Correct. This is purposely. He is thinking that car is also deities ka. This kitchen ka, everything belongs to deities. So if the president is using, why I cannot take? correct? This is purposely. But the president is using the car for preaching purpose, isn't it? But he is stealing kind of, and he is not asking permission from anybody, correct? So that is purposefully, right? So we should understand that why Indra has to suffer a lot, suffer for these sinful reactions, because he knew that Vritrasura is a devotee of the Lord, and still he did not. One more thing we can understand from this is Indra did not think that how can I kill a devotee. What he was thinking, what he was asking the sages, how can I be free from the sinful reactions of killing a devotee or killing a brahmana? But he did not first question did not it was not the first question that how can I kill a devotee. That was not the question. His question was, how can I get rid of the reactions of this activity, isn't it? So we should understand that that's why it was purposefully, or it was purposely, and that's why he had to suffer the reactions of it. Yes, Rupali Mataji, you want to recite the shloka?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Taindra samsaha tapam nirvitri namum avishad rimantam vachyatam prap sukhayanti apina no guna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Following the advice of the demigods, Indra killed Vritrasura, and he suffered because of this sinful killing. Although the other demigods were happy, we could not derive happiness from the killing of Vritrasura. Indra's other good qualities, such as tolerance and opulence, could not help him in his grief. Hare Krishna. Mataji, can I read purport?
Yes, read the purport also.
One cannot be happy by committing sinful acts, even if one is endowed with material opulence. Indra found this to be true. People began to blaspheme him, saying, "This person has killed a Brahmana for the sake of enjoying heavenly material happiness." Therefore, in spite of being king of heaven and enjoying material opulence, Indra was always unhappy because of the accusation of the populace.
Thank you, Mataji. Here again, the first statement is very important. One cannot be happy by committing sinful acts, even if one is endowed with material opulence. So in this world, people think that if we are rich, then we will be happy. But that is not at all true, because we see that especially rich people, they have so many problems. They cannot sleep peacefully at night. They have to take pills, isn't it? The more you are rich, the more you have prestige, the more you have fame, the more problems you have. Sometimes a poor man sleeps peacefully at night, but rich man, he faces so many difficulties, isn't it? And that's why we see that people having name, fame, wealth, but still they are committing suicides. Film actors, actresses, we have so many examples. Though they are having all these things, but still they commit suicide. So it is not at all that if one has material opulence, then one will be happy in this world. This world, we know that this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, and we people want to make this world a happy place to live, but it is not possible unless we rectify the basic problem of this propensity to perform sinful activity. Everybody has this tendency of committing sins, correct? So let us understand what are the reasons for this to commit sinful acts. So first reason is avidya, ignorance. We don't identify, um, we misidentify ourselves as the body, but we should understand that we are not this body, but we are the spirit soul, correct? And so when we have this knowledge, then we can understand that the soul is permanent, correct? And the real nature of the soul is servant of the Lord, correct? So serving the Lord is the nature of the soul. Then that we will understand. If this ignorance is there, if we don't have this correct knowledge that we are not this body but we are the spirit soul, then we get that false ego. We identify with our body and this is mine, I am great, this is my car, this is my bungalow, no, this is my wife. So all these proprietorship comes, correct? Because we have this avidya, ignorance. Because of that, false ego. And because of this, we we develop attachment to obtain material happiness. It is like a dangling carrot in front of an ass, correct? So the carrot is dangling in front of him and he is walking and he feels that if I walk a little more, I can eat that carrot. So similarly, the people in this material world, they always think that if I get this, I will be the happiest. I will become more happy. And so they, under this illusion, they are working. But we know that this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So we cannot get real happiness in this material world. And also, if their desires are not fulfilled, then they are envious of other people. They are envious of God also. Correct? So all these problems or all these kleshas are destroyed as soon as one starts performing devotional service to the Lord. Correct? So we should remember these things. And that's why the root cause of performing sinful acts is this ignorance. So we should have knowledge. We should take this knowledge through shastras, through scriptures. Then only we can eradicate this tendency of committing sinful acts. And you can see that a devotee is always happy, correct? He is not fearful of death also. So that thing will come only when we are studying the shastras and we are understanding our real position and our real connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Yes, Sindhu Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. 6.13, 6.13.12.13. Tam dadarshānuda vantim chandhalim ivarupinim jaraya vepamanangim yakshmagrashtam ashpatham vikhirya balitan keshams tishta tishteti bhashini nina yashu gandhena kurvatim margadushanam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Indra saw personified sinful reaction chasing him, appearing like a Chandala woman, a woman of the lowest class. She seemed very old, and all the limbs of her body trembled. Because she was afflicted with tuberculosis, her body and garments were covered with blood. Breathing an unbearable fishy odor that polluted the entire street, she called to Indra, "Wait, wait." Purport: when a person is afflicted with tuberculosis, he often vomits blood, which makes his garments bloody. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
So Indra is fearful, and this he saw that this personified sinful reaction chasing him, appearing like a Chandala woman. And she was afflicted with tuberculosis, and seemed very old. Garments were covered with blood. So, seeing her, Indra became very fearful, and he started running in different direction just to go away from her. But he could not manage because it was the reaction of his own sinful act, right? So Indra, we see that Indra, he was the king of heaven, such an exalted position he had. And obviously, to achieve that position, he acquired so many pious credits, correct? But he had to run away like this because the sinful act which he performed. And why he performed that? Because he had got material desires in his heart. That is the root cause of that. And due to we see that due to this material desire, he performs so many times abominable acts, and then he repents after his acts. We know that this section started with Indra offending Bruhaspati, right, his spiritual master. So he was so much engrossed in enjoying that he did not offer respect to his spiritual master Bruhaspati. So if we are if we have got these material desires in our heart, then it happens like Indra, that we tend to commit sinful acts. On the contrary, you can see that Vrutrasur, he appeared a demon, but actually he is glorified eternally in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, correct? We can see because Krishna at the time of perfection glorifies his devotees. So we see Vrutrasura is glorified, and though the demons, though the demigods, they wanted to kill him, but he was not at all fearful. As I said, a devotee of the Lord is never fearful, and Prahlad Maharaj is the great example for that. But Indra, because he always, after his sense gratification, now he is chased by such a such a Chandal woman, and now he is running here and there, and now he has. Let us see how he atones in the coming verses. Okay. Yes, Sudha Mataji, you can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam.
Yes.
Navo gato disha sarva sahasraksho vishampate pragudechim disham turnam pravishto nrapamanasam. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, Indra first fled to the sky, but there also he saw the women of personified sin chasing him. This witch followed him wherever he went. At last he very quickly went to the northeast and entered the Manasarovara lake. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So he is just running here and there, and at last he entered that Manasa Sarovar. Yes, Prashanti Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Seeing you after a long time.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Sa avasat pushkara. 1 second, Mataji. Sa avasat pushkarana latantun alabdha bhoga yad ihagni dutaha varshani sahasram alakshitontaha sanchitayan brahmava Vadhad Vimoksham. Translation by Prabhupada ki Jai. Always thinking of how he could be relieved from the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana, King Indra, invisible to everyone, lived in the lake for 1000 years in the subtle fibers of the stem of a lotus. The fire god used to bring him his share of all yajnas, but because the fire god was afraid to enter the water, Indra was practically starving. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Yes. So Indra went into this Manasa Sarovar lake, and he, he was invisible to everyone, and he lived in that lake for 1000 years. And where did he reside? In the stem of lotus. Correct. And he was practically starving. Why? Because generally when we perform yajnas, fire sacrifices, the demigods get their share. Correct. So the fire god used to bring his share of yajnas, but fire cannot enter into water. So Indra was practically starving. So much austerities he had to perform for committing such a sinful action. Yes, who wants to recite?
Hare Krishna Mataji, may I?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Tavati Trinakam Nahusha Shasasha Vidya Tapo Yoga Balanubhavaha Sa Sampat Aishwarya Madanta Buddhir Nita Sthirastam Gatim Indra Patanya Patnya Indra Patnya.
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki Jai. As long as King Indra lived in the water, wrapped in the stem of the lotus, Nahusha was equipped with the ability to rule the heavenly kingdom due to his knowledge, austerity, and mystic power. Nahusha, however, blinded and maddened by power and opulence, made undesirable proposals to Indra's wife with a desire to enjoy her. Thus, Nahusha was cursed by a Brahmana and later became a snake. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. So now Indra was doing, he was suffering the sinful reactions of his sinful act. And so Nahusha became the king of heaven. And he was capable, quite capable. He was knowledgeable. He had mystic powers. And so he became the king. Now, one thing we have to understand here is how Maya tricks us. These are great personalities. Indra is king of heaven. This Nahusha, he was also a king, and in the absence of Indra, he got the position of king of heaven, isn't it? So he must be capable. He must be eligible for that post, isn't it? So just see how Maya tricks such great personalities. As soon as one gets power or opulence, then one wants to enjoy it. And same thing happened with Nahusha. Indra, we know that he also always he wants to do that only, and so anything happens, anything is hampering his position, he becomes fearful, or he becomes anxious about it. He is very attached to his position, right? So same thing happened. As soon as Nahusha got this power, he became the king of the heaven. He wanted it brings a desire that I want to enjoy the opposite sex, and so he wanted to enjoy Indra's wife, Indra Patni, correct? And then he had to, then it is said that Nahusha was cursed by a Brahmana and later became a snake. Okay, so I will tell you this a little short story in very short, this thing. Nahusha, he actually wanted to enjoy Indrapatni, and she was a very chaste wife. And so she took shelter of Bruhaspati. She said, no, you please protect me because Indra is not there and this Nahusha is after me. And then they decided that she said, actually, the story goes like that, that then she wanted, because Indra was, nobody knew where Indra is. Okay, Indra kind of disappeared because he was, no, uh, taking penances, and he was doing that 1,000 years, he was doing that tapashcharya. So then finally they found out that he is in that Manasa Sarovar, and she went there and she told Indra what all things have happened. And Indra told her that, you just tell him that you come in a palanquin, and then I can marry you. I will be with you. Okay. So then she went back and she told him that no, he said that he will be destroyed soon. Okay. So then she went back and she told him, she sent a message to Nahusha. Nahusha was maddened after her. He was blinded. He was not, no, he was not able to think what is correct, what is wrong, what is right. No, he was totally, because of that position, because of that power, because of that opulence he had got, he became maddened like that. And so she said, Ki, you come to me with in that palanquin, and the Sapta Rishis will carry that palanquin. No, because I am Indra's wife, and you are coming to me, so you should come in a royal way. So he became very happy, and he thought that she has accepted my proposal. So he immediately sat in that palanquin, and he asked the Sapta Rishis. They are great sages actually, but he did not think what I am doing, correct? And he asked them to carry that, and he was so eager to go and meet her and enjoy her, that he was telling all of them that no, move fast, move fast. And one word for that is sarpa, sarpa. So sarpa has two meanings. Sarpa means fast also, move fast, and sarpa means snake also. So because no, he was maddened by such anxiety to enjoy, he became lusty to enjoy her. The one Rishi, one sage, cursed him. You are saying sarpa, sarpa, so you will become sarpa. And then immediately he came back. He came on earth as a snake, right? So we can see that how dangerous it is. So position, power. That's why sadhu or saintly people, they say that no, I don't want any position and power. Even Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was offered the position of HOD of astrophysics, but he denied that, correct? Because he said, then I will not be able to focus on my spiritual life, correct? So that is the thing, that it is very, well, as soon as one gets that position and prestige and fame, false ego, it comes, and it is very difficult to people are prone to fall down, basically. And so we see that yeah, so these great people also, they were bewildered by Maya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mama Maya Duratyaya. Correct? Mameva ye prapadyante, Mayam etam tarantite. Those who surrender unto me, for them, they can easily cross over this ocean, but otherwise, the Maya tricks us like anything. So we are insignificant souls, but these are great people, and Maya bewilders them also, what to speak of us. So that's why we have to take shelter we have to take shelter of somebody. We have to take shelter of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras. Then only we can survive. We can go back to Godhead. That we should understand. We need to have blessings from somebody. Otherwise, it is very difficult. The journey is difficult. Yes. Yes. Saras?
माताजी दंडवत
Yes.
प्रणाम।
Dandavat pranam.
ततो गतो ब्रह्मगिरोपभूता वृत्तं पराध्यान निवर्तितगः पापस्तु दिक्देवताय हतौजस् तां नाभ्याभूत् हवितां विष्णुपत्न्या। Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Indra's sins were diminished by the influence of Rudra, the demigod of all directions. Because Indra was protected by the goddess of fortune, Lord Vishnu's wife, who resides in the lotus clusters of Manasa Sarovara lake, Indra's sins could not affect him. Indra was ultimately relieved of all the reactions of his sinful deeds by strictly worshipping Lord Vishnu. Then he was called back to the heavenly planets by the Brahmanas and reinstated in his position. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I'm a little confused about contradictions in this section of Vitrasura, Mataji.
Okay.
Can I tell them that now, Mataji?
Maybe let us first complete this and
Yeah,
then,
okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So as I said that Indra was ultimately relieved of all the reactions of his sinful deeds, strictly worshipping Lord Vishnu only, because only Lord can deliver us from this material world. Correct? So by worshipping Lord only, we can get rid of sinful reactions. That we should understand. We should take shelter of the Lord, and then Lord is very merciful on us. Yeah. So actually Indra has performed such horrible sin, but because he took shelter of the Lord, that's why he could come out of, he could get his position back. Correct? He was reinstated in his position back again because he took shelter of the Lord. We should understand that Lord is merciful, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was so merciful to Jagai and Madhai also. They were such sinful people. And because they took shelter of the Lord took all their sinful actions, all their sinful reactions and delivered them. So that we should understand. Yes. Yes, Navakishori Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम।
धन्यवाद।
तं च ब्रह्मर्षयो भीत्य भयमेधेन भारत यथा वदीक्षया अक्षकुः पुरुषाराधनेन Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, when Lord Indra reached the heavenly planet, the saintly Brahmanas approached him and properly initiated him into a horse sacrifice, Ashwamedha Yagya, meant to please the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Now they will perform the Ashwamedha Yajna. Yes. Yes, Divya Mataji.
Shall I repeat after you, Mataji?
Okay. Atejamane Purushe.
Atejamane Purushe.
Sarvadeva Mayatmani.
सर्वदेव मयात्मनि
अश्वमेधे महेन्द्रेण
अश्वमेधे महेन्द्रेण
वितते ब्रह्मवादिभिः
वितते ब्रह्मवादिभिः
सवैत्वाष्ट्रवधो भूयान्
सवैष्ट्रात्
त्वाष्ट्र
वाष्ट्र
वधो
वधौ भूतान्
भूयान्
भूया
अपि पापचयो नृप
अपि पापनयो च न
पापचयो नृत
चयो नृप
नीतस्तेनैव शून्याय
नितस्तैव नैव शून्याय
निहार इव भानुना
निहार इव बानुना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The horse sacrifice performed by the saintly Brahmanas relieved Indra of the reaction to all his sins because he worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead in that sacrifice. O King, although he had committed a gravely sinful act, it was nullified at once by that sacrifice. Just a fog is vanquished by the brilliant sunrise. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. So, the sages, they performed this horse sacrifice, and then Indra was relieved of all the reactions to his sinful act. So here again, taking shelter of the Lord and chanting the names of the Lord, it becomes very important. We know that in this Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is chanting of the holy names of the Lord. And sages are also saying that Lord's name is very powerful. So this is the only remedy for all types of sinful reactions. Huh? So a devotee is empowered by Lord's mercy. Correct? So we see Srila Prabhupada is the great example of that, how he was empowered by the Lord and how he went to America at the age of 70 and how he established 108 temples in the period of 10 to 12 years. Correct? So when a person takes shelter of the Lord, he can be delivered and he can go back to Godhead. That we should understand. Yes. So let us actually only 3 shlokas are remaining, but let us stop because it's already 9 and some questions are there. So we will stop here. Now, Mataji, you can ask questions. I will just stop sharing.
It's just
yes.
concern, Mataji, because Vritrasura sometimes is described as a demon. Though he was a great devotee, I came to know, but sometimes they call him as a demon. And the great rishis all they advised Indra to kill him because he was doing atrocities, Mataji.
Yes.
So after that, Indra got so many sins. What Indra could have done, Mataji?
You mean to say he was a demon, so Indra was supposed to kill him?
No, I don't know. I don't agree with that.
No, Mataji, this will now in next chapter you will understand who was Vritrasura. Up till now we don't know, isn't it? Isn't it? We have the storyline is like this, that Indra offended Bruhaspati, so the demons attacked demigods. Then demigods took protection from the Lord. Then they got Narayan Kavach, Indra got, and then they defeated demons. Then Twashta, because Indra killed Vishwarupa, who was Twashta's son, right? So Twashta performed a fire sacrifice, and through that Vritrasura appeared. Correct? So in the next chapter, we will come to know the background of Vritrasura, like who was he in his previous life. Okay, and then you will understand why we say that he was a great devotee, and Indra knew that he was a great devotee. Still, he did that, right?
Yes,
So
Mataji.
all these
Mataji,
things,
in Indra's case, it was circumstantial or purposeful, Mataji?
you tell me.
I
Purposeful.
think it's purposeful by
Even here, that he purposefully did
Yeah.
it.
but still,
Purposefully
how
killed.
can he was excused twice, Mataji, even after
Yes,
killing a Vaishnava.
yeah, yeah, but because he again took shelter of the Lord, isn't it? So one who takes shelter of the Lord is so merciful that he always gives his mercy. See, we can understand it like this. We are also in this material world, and we think that we'll get happiness in this material world. Lord is waiting for us when we will understand that no, this is not our real home. Our real home is spiritual world, right? Lord is waiting for us, but we people, we are not understanding, and we are finding new ways to enjoy in this world only, isn't it? So Indra is in this material world only, understand this. And so he has all these desires. I said that he is so much attached to his position, Indra Pad. So if something happens to that, he becomes anxious, he becomes fearful, isn't it? Prithu
Yes.
Maharaj, he was doing fire sacrifices, 99 Rajasuya Yajnas, and then he would have got that position, Indra's position. Indra became fearful, and he tried to steal the horse every time. Okay. So Indra is very much attached to his position, and that's why he is committing these mistakes. Mataji, that way we should understand.
Yes, Mataji, that all I understood, but this specifically because Uttarasara is both a devotee and both a demon. So it's
And also, Mataji, because 28th time Indra was taking birth as an ant, right?
As an ant. Where did you hear this, Mataji?
Yesterday's class only, Mataji.
What? I mean,
like once the Lord and the wife Rukmini were sitting, and the Lord, there will be an ant going carrying some sugar. So the Lord, and when Mata Rukmini asks him why he is laughing, he says Indra is this ant, and is carrying on with his active, desireful activities. Still, he has not learnt a lesson like that we heard in the last class. Mataji.
okay. Okay.
I'm not
Mataji.
confused about Indra, Mataji, but I was confused about
Vritrasura.
and
Mataji,
what would have been done to, what was the
means
right way to deal with it?
you mean to say how he was a demon and how he was a devotee, that you are confused, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
And what
Mataji,
was the right way to have dealt with him? Because we see some people in the society, both good and both bad.
yes.
So
how come he is a demon, and because he was cursed, Mataji. That's why he became a demon.
okay.
So now it will come, because next chapter is Chitraketu's lamentation. So that Vritrasura's background will come now. He was Chitraketu in his previous life, and because he was cursed, he became a demon, and so he was a devotee of the Lord. Okay, and that's why he was not fearful. And actually, if you see, he actually Indra, he reminded Indra that you have that thunderbolt, so use that thunderbolt and kill me. Correct? So he actually guided, kind of, we can say. I mean, which enemy will tell like that, isn't it?
Yes.
But because that was his curse, and he wanted to go back to Godhead, that's why he told Indra that use your thunderbolt and you can kill me. Indra was fearful because this Vritrasura was, you must have read the description of Vritrasura, how powerful and how big he was. In the last chapter also it said that when he opened his mouth, the lower jaw touched the earth and upper jaw went to sky.
Yes.
that much big mouth, isn't it? So he was a very powerful and very big, huge demon, but he was cursed, and he knew that only by this he will go back to Godhead, and that's why it is said that he was a devotee, and still he appeared in the form of a demon.
Yeah, that's what Mataji beautifully told yesterday. Because of our mistakes, taking birth again and again. So how to
Yes.
learn to tolerate and forgive? You should accept mistakes, learn to tolerate and forgive. Be humble and not to respond immediately to anger, she was telling.
Yes, humility. Unless and until
Yeah.
we are humble, Mataji, nothing can happen. Humbleness and submissive nature, Mataji. Unless and until we don't become humble, we have that ego that I am doing this. No, somebody should offer me respect. Correct. All these things come in mind. Or if you don't get some position, some important task to do in any seva, or in any, for that matter, in any material thing also, then immediately we become angry, right? So what we have to learn is humility, humbleness, how we should become humble. And when we can become humble, whenever we surrender to the Lord, then only we can become humble. When we understand the supremacy of the Lord. Why not all people understand the Supreme Lord? Why only few people know about the Lord? Because they are not ready to submit themselves. Correct? They don't have that submissive nature. Unless and until you understand, unless and until you submissively take shelter, you will not understand the glories of the Lord, isn't it? If we have ego, we cannot understand the supremacy of the Lord, that Lord has created all these things. That's why people have challenging questions. Na? How you can say Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead? What is the proof? Isn't it? Do they ask such questions? No, because they are not learning the scriptures, they are not taking the knowledge, and that's why this problem is there. And that's why avidya, as I said, ignorance. We don't know what is our real position. We are not this body, but we are the spirit soul. And we are suffering in this world. But this fact, if one doesn't understand, one feels that I'm happy, whatever, no, and I will be more and more happy. If one has that, one is under that illusion, then it becomes very difficult, isn't it? They will not understand.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for the insightful class.
Yes. Yes. Anybody has any comments or anything, any point you want to say? Otherwise, we will stop. Yes. Any one point if you can share?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think Bhadrasura was more a greater devotee than Indra because of his humbleness.
Yes, because he took shelter of the Lord, isn't it? He was surrendered.
Yes, Mataji. And he was a Chitraketu in his past life.
Yes. So that's why he was more surrendered to the Lord.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
It was very nice class, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes.
Hari
Anything else?
Mataji.
And we should understand that as soon as we get power and opulence, we have that tendency to enjoy it. Correct? So we should keep, we should be alert in such cases. Right?
Mataji, Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Yes.
Bhagavatam, totally Bhagavatam is life lesson, I think. Is a life lesson.
Yes.
Everything, anything else we hire, that is
Yes.
to be cultivated in our daily life.
Correct, Prabhuji. Absolutely right.
Otherwise, just hearing and living, no use.
No
Just
use.
it is to be practiced, and it is to be in our, in every atom of our life, body, it must exhibit. Then only. So this is the ultimate life lesson for us.
Correct. That's why it
I
is
do.
said, na, why we are studying this scripture, so that we can live accordingly, isn't it?
Yes.
We can practically apply these things in our life.
Definitely, if we are so sincere, the all what we used to hear from you, it will alarm us in all circles. I myself observed that it alarms. So
Yes,
yesterday
yes.
only you have heard. Now you have done a mistake. What's going on in your inner? So it will alarm us.
Yes, yes. We will get those realizations, Prabhuji, isn't it?
Yes.
In each and every action, what we do, no, we immediately start thinking. We immediately start getting realizations also.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing.
And Mataji, Vratasura, when he was a Chitraketu also, he was very humble. He happily accepted the curse from
Correct.
Parvati Mata.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He could have counter cursed also. Not counter cursed, but he could have done something, but still he accepted it. That is important. Like Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj also accepted the curse, isn't it? He did not counter
Yes,
curse.
Mataji.
He was capable of doing that, but still he did not do.
Even Amrish Maharaj Mataji from
Yes.
Durvasa Muni.
Durvasa Muni, correct? And Lord
Yes,
protected him, isn't it? We know that past time.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
pranam, Mataji.
Yes. Thank you so much. So shall we stop? And one more thing, that Maya bewilders us. So one who gets puffed up is the great candidate for Maya, because she is ready to attack us always. So we have to be very careful. We have to be aware of Maya, isn't it? So at any point of time, she can catch us. She can bewilder personalities like Indra and Brahma. We know those stories, like Govardhan Leela and Brahma Vimohan Leela, correct? So if she can bewilder them, then who are we? We are such insignificant souls, correct? So we can only take shelter of the Lord, holy names of the Lord, and as I said, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Then only we can easily cross over this ocean of material world, and we can go back to Godhead. Okay, so we have to remember these things always in our mind. Okay.
One more beautiful realization, Mataji.
Yes.
When a demon is killed, normally all the demigods are happy. But in this case, when all the demigods were happy, because Vritsasur has been killed, but Indra was only unhappy, right? But outwardly, that was a very nice point. I
think. He is unhappy. Why? Because he is fearful. Yes, Rohini Mataji, you want to say something?
Nothing, Mataji. Till now, it was like everything was negative about Indra, but now it was like, when he was felt that, oh, I've killed a Brahmana, something positive we could see about Indra.
Actually, Indra is a devotee of the Lord, but he is a mixed devotee, we can say. Correct? He wants to enjoy also. Okay, and still he is a devotee. So he is a mixed devotee. So he suffers reactions also. Like we are in this material world. He is much more empowered than us. That's why he is king of heaven. But we are also doing the same things, na? We sometimes we surrender to the Lord. Sometimes we do whatever we want, isn't it? We are not at that stage that we have completely surrendered and completely taken shelter. Correct? Sometimes we have that tendency, oh, I will do this today, I will do that today, isn't it? So 24/7, that stage has not come that we are conscious of Lord 24/7. We are trying to, that's why we are sadhakas. No, we are trying to cultivate, we are trying to develop that thing by hearing from authorities, by reading, by connecting to sincere devotees. by connecting to the temple, isn't it? Then only we can cultivate. Associations matters a lot. We all know that, isn't it? Effect of association. So we are trying to do all these things, but let us see when it will.
The rishis who gave that advice will also get the sin, Mataji.
What, Mataji?
The rishis who gave that advice to Indra to kill Vritrasura, will they be involved in the sin, Mataji?
Here, I mean, I'm not sure, but here it is said that Indra got those reactions. They did not get reactions. We don't see here, isn't it? In this section, at least. That
by mistake, if you advise something wrong to some people, not intentionally, but like due to ignorance, like you said. So will we get involved like that?
Due to, I mean, unknowingly hai to Mataji, not, I mean, you will not get much reactions. But as I said, if it is purposefully, then atonement is required. I mean, it has to be there. But wrong advice in what sense, Mataji?
Like, I don't know, Mataji. Just imagining. Some situations might come like that.
Mataji, actually, they advised him to perform the yajna, right?
Yes.
That was advice given by demigods to Indra.
No, actually, yes. Yes. Advice given is to, you can perform yajna and, yes. And he atoned for 1,000 years. So they said that by Ashwamedha Yajna, your sinful reactions can be nullified. That's what they said. So Mataji, this, as you said, this question, advice, if it is wrong, then will we get reactions? Yes. So Mataji, actually, it depends on the context. I mean, exactly what it is. Material. Anyway, for every action, we are going to get reaction. That is for sure, Mataji. That we should understand. So we have to be careful.
Yes.
And we have to focus on our sadhana, Mataji. That is the most important thing.
Yes, Mataji. Okay, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, are you all liking this session? I mean,
yes,
very much,
very much, Mataji.
Very nice.
Yeah, these scriptural pastimes, different, because we will be covering different stories related. I mean, abhi we completed Ajamila, and now we are doing this Vritrasura. So we will
learn
have
so many lessons, Mataji. Very nice.
Okay. So thank you so much. So you can encourage others also, your friends, or to join the session, so that they also get this knowledge, isn't it? So anybody who is interested, you can tell them, because these are stories, right? This is not like Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam first canto, which we did. It is not like that. These are the stories, and through stories we are learning so many things. So you can encourage your friends also to join.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll stop here. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam,
Yes,
Mataji.
thank you. I will just end the session for all.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.